Obviously, you've not seen Masters of the Universe.
Skeletor.
Hit me up, Hollywood. We're bringing the Whopper back. What?
I'm hot-blooded, check it and see. And here we are, episode 3. Renny, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. We made it. We made it past the sophomore slump or something, whatever you want to call that second episode.
We're now in junior year, and I got to think about that earlier. Like, when are we going to stop counting the episodes? Like 109 or something?
I don't know. If you think about like some of these podcasts are like 1,200. I know. Do we even count them? But I like that they're numbered, so people who listen and go, "Oh, there's 8. I've only listened to 7." But I don't know. That's a good...
Yeah, that audio visual confirmation. You see it in the title, you hear it, so it confirms that, yes, we are podcast number 3.
Podcast number 3. And something very special about our podcast, we didn't even put this in the notes.
No.
We're worldwide. We are on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on...
That's right.
iHeart. Amazon.
I believe we had 3 listeners in Alabama last I checked. Did you see that?
You sent me those things. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you said Alabama? Question mark?
Alabama.
Yeah, so we definitely need to do a live remote down there and, invite our 3
Said
fans.
the Mobile.
Yeah.
But yeah, how cool is that? We are... Now you can... Not only you can check us out on YouTube and, look at these ugly mugs, but when you're driving to work, you can stream it on Spotify. Easily Distracted with Renny and Tony. It's got to be... Just search for that and it pops up. And if you're an Amazon Unlimited person, it's on there.
And a new one, maybe I didn't tell you this one because took a little while to get going, but there was an option for Samsung exclusive device only.
Wow.
So I guess there's a podcast
like Samsung
streaming service.
Yeah.
It's only available for Samsung devices.
Wow.
So you're welcome.
And, we're working on being on Google Podcasts too, right?
Yeah, they seem to take the longest amount of time to confirm and check you out, It takes 2 to 3 weeks, they said. They'll email me. They'll get back to me.
Classic nerd, scenario. Apple and Spotify, like 45 minutes. They're like, hey, yeah, we'll put you on. There you go. This week, I actually had some people, say they listened to the podcast and sent me a message and say they liked it and we should keep doing it. So
yeah, that's great. So here we are. We're going to keep going.
We're going to keep going. And we've got some good stuff to talk about. Let me just I got to take a little...
And do I sound weird? Because, I am still recovering from a weird respiratory event.
You have a little bit of like, hey, you might have a sinus thing.
Yeah. I can still talk. That's okay. So I decided to come on into work this evening. And
appreciate it.
It's one of those things. It's like post-COVID. You get a weird sickness now, but it's not COVID. It's not the flu. It's not strep.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's weird. Luckily, I avoid human contact with everyone, so I never get sick. So
yeah. Well, luckily we have our own studios, so we have a safe distance.
Well, you're right there. We're just flying to everybody. Ready? Hey.
Yeah. I hear you.
That would be awesome if we were like that. Just in another
high
room.
five.
All right, well, let's get into some crazy stuff because you know how I like my analytics. You know how I like to deep dive and learn. I like a pie chart.
Yeah, you go down the rabbit hole quite often.
Do. I love to see why things are doing what they are. But anyway, so I was looking at these charts on, music trends and that kind of thing, and I was blown away by a couple things. First off, or maybe the only thing, it's really the only thing I put down. But anyway, one song has to be the most streamed song of 2023, right? There can only be one, to quote Highlander. So first off, do you have any clue at all? Did you look at the notes and then go secretly look it up?
No, I tried. I want to be a good sport, and
Nice.
I've given it some thought.
Okay.
And there's only one name that comes to mind for me, and it's probably not right.
If you guess it right off the bat, if you do, okay, go ahead.
I don't know. It's going to be a good guess, I would think. Educated guess. I got to go with Taylor Swift.
Oh, no. Taylor Swift did not have the most streamed song in 2023.
Okay.
It was, you want to guess again? You want me to steer? You're
I
in
mean,
the
it
right.
kinda make
You're in
now
the
that you
right
say
top
that, it kinda
12.
makes sense because now, Taylor Swift, especially among her fans,
Yeah.
has all of her songs are favorites and streamed,
Right.
so they kinda dilute each other,
Right.
so I probably shouldn't have went with that.
So listen, I'm going to do this too because
She's definitely the streamed artist, right?
I know that surely there's people that are going to listen to this week. So pause this and put in
Okay.
the comments if you're watching it on YouTube who you think it is. No cheating. Put it in the comments who
I'm
you
watching you.
guys.
I'm watching.
Right. And you put in who you think it is. And then, okay, now you're unpaused. All
Okay.
three people are back listening.
Got it.
So it was a female artist. Okay. So now you want to take another gander?
A female artist.
Female artist.
Well, it'd have to be a Grammy winner, right? I mean,
Yes.
because Taylor Swift, female. Let's see who was. Can I look it up? No, just tell me.
Miley Cyrus.
Oh, that's right.
Flowers.
Flowers. Okay.
The most streamed song. And guess how many streams? I mean, you don't have to guess, but
I have no idea.
2.7 billion streams.
Okay, I thought you were going to say million.
Billion.
Billion?
2.7 billion streams worldwide and, all platforms. 2.7 billion streams. Miley Cyrus, Flowers. So old Billy Ray's daughter's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's not. I would have never guessed Miley Cyrus and Flowers. I mean, I know everybody sung that song for a minute, and it was on TikTok and all that. But
it's like every time you take a test or someone asks you a question, and then you find out the answer later. Oh, that's right. That's it. But it totally makes sense. I mean, I remember all summer long Flowers popping up, and even I have kids, so we listen to Kids Bop.
Yeah.
That was probably the number one song that was playing consistently.
Right.
On Kids Bop was Flowers, but it was sung by kids, not Miley Cyrus.
But I mean, that's kind of crazy. That number's crazy. What is there? 11 billion people in the world. I know that some people listen to this song 1,000 times, but still, 2.7 billion streams.
A little bit of pocket change in that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. And she wrote that with on the pretense of a breakup and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, she's like, I'm okay. I don't know the thing. Terry tried to explain it to me, but
and I heard there was some controversy over it, about just prefer being alone
it was
instead of
actually,
other people. I don't know.
Yeah, and it was actually a reply to a John Legend song, right? Because John Legend wrote the song about I'll buy you flowers, I'll do this, and so then she wrote the song like you don't have to.
Okay.
Something like that. Not directly against him, but in general, like I'm going to be okay, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So
and now you know the rest of the story.
Bung, bung, bung. But anyway, so I thought that was interesting.
Well, the only thing I'm concerned with right now is this stink bug. It's crawling on my ceiling.
Man, they're everywhere around here.
Okay. I think it went away.
But yeah, Miley Cyrus, 2 billion streams. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. When I log on and see like Down to the River had, 88 listens last month. I'm like, yeah, man.
Burning it up right there. So when you listen to a song, I mean, what makes you like a song? Is it the music first? Is it the lyrics? Both? What do you care about when it comes to listening to music?
I mean, I don't want to say I'm like shallow or not deep about lyrics and that kind of thing, but I kind of gravitate 85%. It's about the riff. It's about, does this hook catch me and make me want to listen to what the words are saying? Now there are that other 15%, man, Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Adams and, Drive-By Truckers and Neil Young. There's some of those people that I just listen to those lyrics and I'm just like, just sent off to another planet. Just can't believe the stories that they can tell. But I'm all about the riff, man. I want the hook. I want the beat and all that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm kind of with you there. Like, lyrics can actually be trash. They could be crap lyrics. But if the music is good and it connects and it's got a good flow, the chords are great, I'll be all about it. I mean, especially when I'm trying to figure out or find new music.
Right.
Or even old music, I'll re-listen to it, and it's all about how does this music make me feel.
I mean, right, music too, not lyrics, but the the beat, the chords, the
Yeah, we're
energy.
talking about the instrument,
Yeah,
the chording, the instruments,
yeah.
and I guess we're talking, are you a lyricist or are you a tunesmith? You know?
Yeah, yeah, and and there's some people, even musicians that we hang out with around here locally that can write. I'm sure they are a lyricist. They start with the story, and then they just put some
Yeah.
chords with it, and they want to tell a tale. I mean, every time I'm writing a song, I end up just going like, "Is there anything that rhymes with this?" I'm just going to say it because I mean, look
Yeah.
at like the Rolling Stones, their original stuff, Led Zeppelin, and you don't analyze the story and start me up. You listen to that
Yeah.
and that the cowbell.
Now,
Oh,
don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with lyrics. There is some songs out there that I really love the lyrics. I love the story. But it's just, everybody's different.
yeah,
What what makes you respond when you hear something? And then for me, it's the instrumentation.
yeah. And I think I think you probably agree with this, but this area that we're from, in this area and the music scene that we're involved in, country music highway, and you
Hmm.
know, and that whole thing, and Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton and Sturgill Simpson and all these people, there it's very lyric storytelling centered around here. Wouldn't you think? I mean,
Yeah. Very.
everybody wants to sing about coal, or well, they used to
Hmm.
do that, but grandma, and I was raised in a holler, and everybody wants to do that, and that story has been told. I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's very cool
Yeah.
that's a thing, but man, crank up a Telecaster and give me some a cool riff, and I'm
Well, I'll tell you,
much happier.
there's a lot of good music that I listen to that, I started digging into the lyrics,
Yeah,
and it's not what you think it is. I'm a Dave Matthews fan, right?
right, right.
So, a lot of people play that song Crash at their wedding, or, they think it's a love song. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more of a darker side of things if you
Oh,
really dig into the lyrics. I mean, he's peeping through a window, it's kind
yeah,
of obsessive. It's really dark. But,
like
on the
wow,
surface, the chording sounds kind of light and,
yeah.
makes you feel good. And so it's like, oh, Crash into Me, so beautiful. It's a beautiful love song. Well, it sure is.
I never paid attention. Again, I'm just so oblivious to in life in general. Like it's so stupid of me. But like, keep on rocking in the free world. I never realized. I never really put two and two together that was an anti-American song. All I
Yeah,
was catching was the chorus. And I was
exactly.
like,
And that's a
yeah,
very good example. Yeah.
yeah. And Born in the USA. I mean, I didn't know that was anti-American. Talking about politics and being anti. Is that the name of it? Yeah, Born in the that
Mhm.
one.
Yep.
So I'm with you. A couple years ago when we did that Rolling Stones tribute, our band did the tribute. That was an awesome day,
Yes.
first of all. But
Mhm.
I had to throw out like probably 8 or 10 Stone songs because of the lyrics. Like
I remember that.
I
Yeah.
never knew they were this meant this, or just also just the piece non PC racial things that they sung about in the '70s. But then also like I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there was a couple songs that are like, whoa, you can't, that's pretty vile. You can't, we can't get
Yeah.
up and have a big event and sing those songs. First of all, I'm like Kevin when it comes to that. I can't sing that stuff. I mean, I think it's hilarious for some 50-year-old guy to sing the words to like Hot Blooded. I'm
Yeah.
hot blooded, check it and see. I got a fever of it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
All right. So, I can't really put it into words why I don't wanna go to concerts more often than I should, I guess.
Right.
So, here we go. If you can see my screen, this is me at a rock and roll show, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm watching the show, and I'm just, just thinking about my own personal experiences playing music, or, "Oh, I could cover this song," or, "Man, that's not," I'm just thinking about how I would rather be on stage myself, not even necessarily in a big arena like I'm in there. I'm just, back at a
Right.
festival back home, it's just because when you're in a relationship and you're married, you kinda give and take, so
Right.
there's a few concerts I've went with, my wife and, to be a good sport, and I'm just sitting there you know? I could just listen to this on Spotify and, seeing these musicians on stage just makes me wanna go leave this concert
Oh
and
gosh,
pick up a guitar, drums, bass, whatever, and just, do it myself. Not
man.
that I can do it even better, that's not the point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's a
It's just
perfect that's a perfect picture. I try to explain that to people sometimes too, like going to a local show and watching people play, or any kind of show. But I'm just like,
yeah,
oh god, I I can't enjoy it because I'm like, why aren't I? Why am I a failure? Why haven't I?
exactly,
Why am
yeah.
I not booked tonight?
You're starting to put it into words for me, so, thanks for this therapy session.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what I do with my business, and that whole thing, and it's like sometimes I watch a band that's national. I had to make sure I was in the shot, national artist or something, and I watch them, and I'm like, oh my god, here I am. I'm on the back side of it, making sure this show happens, and they're
mhm,
touring and living life, and it's not like I'm not jealous, but I tell you what it does do, and it might do this to you too, but it makes me like go, okay, when I get home, I'm going to start rehearsing, I'm going to start writing, I'm going to start, I
yeah,
can't believe I don't have this one thing finished, or I'm not too old to learn this skill.
yeah, motivation,
Yeah,
absolutely.
big time. I get motivated. The craziest things today. I was just like eating breakfast and scrolling through YouTube, and a video came on about with a musician talking about what they were doing, and I literally was like, okay, that's it. I got up, went to the studio, and I was like, I got to start being proactive today. I got that inspired by oh, I got that inspired by
Whoa,
push my hair the wrong way. But I'm with you, man. It's a weird thing to be a musician and to go to shows. You just
yeah,
look at it's a different perspective. You're looking at the drums, you're looking at, and also you're like, why am I here in this
mhm,
seat? Why aren't I doing it? Or that's the way
right.
I'm
Now,
with you.
speaking of going to shows, now when I go to a show, I want to experience the artist as you would want to experience it, and that's them playing their hits or,
Right,
even playing their not so hits. As long as they're keep it entertaining,
right.
keep the songs a going, a little bit of story here and there if it and I think the stories kinda are more for a setting of acoustic, we mentioned the acoustic
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah,
But if it's a live arena rock show, just pump out the hits.
yeah, man.
But, today I seen, a little posting about John Mellencamp. Have you heard about his outburst that he did? Have you seen that?
I didn't watch it, but I saw the
Yeah,
clickbaity. It's not clickbait, but I saw the link. Like
yeah,
John Cougar Mellencamp
yeah.
almost quits. I don't know what. Tell me what
Well,
exactly what he did.
I did get to watch it, and basically he stops a song or at the end of a song, it's about an hour into the set, he starts telling this story about his grandma, and it's probably a sweet story, and
Yeah,
I guess it went a little too long. Majority of the people were kinda into it, they were
right.
kinda laughing a bit, little giggles here and there, but one guy halfway in the back says like, "Play a song!" And, um he just goes quiet for a minute, like he didn't know how to say it, but John Mellencamp don't care, he's getting ready to
No,
say
he's
something, and
known
believe
for
me, he
being
does
hot
say
headed.
something. Yeah,
Oh,
he's like, "What do you think I've been doing?" And then he ends it with a little explicitive toward the guy, and then he kinda goes on a little rant, and then does walk off the stage, and he's like, "This show's over." Walks off stage, and then the violin player and the accordion player come back, and the violin player's like, "Shh," weirdly, and they start playing this little ditty. I can't remember the tune, but
a little
it's a
ditty.
known.
Was it about
Yeah,
Jack and Diane?
exactly. No, not that one, the other ditty. And then, he finally comes back on stage or actually before he what's funny is before he walks off stage abruptly with a mean attitude, I think he starts playing Jack and Diane, but totally lackadaisical, like, just playing G, C, and D,
Oh
just
yeah,
talking
yeah.
to Jack and me and those, little ditty, and then say, "You know what? This show's over." And then the other 2 come out, they do some little something, and finally, I guess he's cooled off enough to,
Yeah.
return to the stage, plays about another hour, but, the dude's got an attitude problem.
Yeah, not. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit.
Sure.
I I get what he's saying. Like you pay $79 for a ticket. They're only going to be playing 90 minutes or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't want to see 20 minutes of my $79 ticket eaten up by stories in some way. And I know it's the full
I mean, I
package.
agree. That's why I
Yeah,
said that.
yeah,
I want to hear the music, man.
yeah. But that's why I quit going to see Government Mule. Uh, I've seen him like a dozen times, more than a dozen times, and then the last 2 or 3 times I saw him, he just talked, and he talked politics, the worst thing.
Oh,
Tell
wow.
me stories of the Allman Brothers, the good old days. Tell me about your high
Yeah.
school. Don't tell me how to vote and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is John Mellencamp mentioned that he's like, now you know how I feel about politics, and you don't want me to go there. So he just said that. I'm like, oh, thanks. At least thanks for saving us from that.
I saw it. It went through the news cycle, and I saw the video, but I never clicked on it. But have you seen this thing where artists are selling off all their songs? I mean, it's been happening for 2 or 3 years.
I guess I've just kind of
I just burped.
been aware of it, but not really thought about it too much.
Well, it's kind of freaking me out. I mean, it's like it's everybody is starting to do it. Like everybody is selling off their whole catalog. I saw. I don't know who the latest one was. The last one I saw was Bob Dylan. He sold all his songs. Like Dustin.
Hmm.
I forget. I all of a sudden can't remember any Bob Dylan song, but he has like a catalog of 1,500 songs or something, and he just sold them. And the company there's one company that's buying all of them. It's like this consortium of these business investors, and they've made this company, and they're buying them all. I mean, what do you think about it? I have,
Well,
I can go either way. I have opinions, but what do you think about
well,
Bob
I
Dylan?
mean, in today's time, there's a market for everything, and I guess packaging your music and selling it is a thing. And I think that's really more now so because of since Napster and streaming, it's
Yeah,
all a streaming world. And, I think it's just a business decision. And
yeah,
there's
they're just
probably,
cashing out.
yeah, yeah, and
Like Bob Dylan. Surely his royalties every year has been on a decline. I mean, because
sure.
has to be. I mean, he used to be the stuff, and now he's not the stuff. He
Hmm.
sold all his songs for $300 million. I mean, so
Yeah,
they're not his. You can like be like, I'll never do that, but he just got 300 million. The dude's like 80. So
well,
the
he's
weird
thinking
thing,
about his taxes. I mean, if
yeah,
he's got that 20% capital gains, or if he keeps his music, he's got to pay that 37% income tax on it. So
yeah, yeah.
I
And
don't
but
know.
the weird thing is, you can will your royalties to your family though. That's kind of
Yeah.
weird. You can
And then they
pass
got
them
to pay
on.
taxes on it.
Wait, I
No?
know, but I mean, you ain't paying taxes if you ain't making the money.
Right.
But anyway, so Bob Dylan, he sold off his what's her name from Fleetwood Mac? What is her name? Everybody loves her from Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. What's her name?
Stevie
Why did you
Nicks.
make me forget Stevie Nicks' name?
Stevie Nicks sold all of her songs. Let's see, Stevie Nicks sold hers for 100 million. So Phil Collins and Genesis sold all theirs. So now they could be
Maybe.
on a Geico commercial. 300 million for Genesis and Phil Collins. And so you see the trend though is these are all like late 70s. They are
It's time to cash out. You
yeah.
got that lottery ticket in your hand, that retirement check.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
sell it.
But here's the crazy thing. Not just people in their 70s, that are like
Mhm.
retiring and are selling all their songs. So I found this list, and I'm gonna go through some of the songs. I'm gonna tell you the people, and you guess how much they sold their songs for. I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing behind it. There's no science behind it. But here's some people that surprised me that sold off their entire catalog.
This segment is called Music Valuation. Music, yeah, selling your music catalog valuations.
Dr. Dre, he sold all his songs. He just cashed out.
Dr. Dre,
Yes,
500 million.
200 million.
Okay, overvaluated, sorry.
There's okay. This one really blew me away. And, I don't know. I don't know. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber,
Justin Bieber sold all his songs. His catalog is not his anymore. He doesn't own it.
250 million.
200.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna do a couple more. Sting. So you can imagine, Sting sold his
Oh, 400 million.
3.
Okay.
$300 million.
I'm overshooting it still.
$300 million, man. That's crazy. Every breath you. Well, actually, it's probably just his songs,
Yeah.
not the Police.
Mm.
Justin Timberlake sold all his songs. I mean, these people are like in their 30s and they are selling their entire catalog. It's owned by someone else. Bringing Sexy back is now going to be like we're bringing the Whopper back or something.
Yeah. We're bringing the Whopper back. What?
But Justin Timberlake, he was 100 million. But here's a couple that freak me out. Brad Paisley, who's still,
Brad Paisley is a sellout?
Brad Paisley sold his songs off. So I don't know a famous Brad Paisley song.
I'm gonna miss her.
I don't know. Does he have one called Gasoline?
Probably.
I don't know.
If it's later, it's not something I could recall.
Well, guess how much he sold his for? It's not what you think.
It's either like 40 million or 600 million.
25 million.
What? Oh, he could have got way more out of that.
Should have held out. He still got a hit in him.
He sold way too soon and cheap.
Yeah. So Chili Peppers sold their catalog for 140 million. Motley Crue 150 million. I would have guessed that the Chili Peppers would have got more money than them, but it's all about how you broker the deal.
I guess they just want to fund other projects.
Shakira 300 million, sold all her songs. ZZ Top sold all theirs for cheap, 50 million. LaGrange, Tush.
And this has all happened in the last, 10 years?
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah. Somewhere around. Since from like 2020 was one of the earliest ones I saw. But, that's probably not right. I'm sure it was more. Jason Aldean, 100 million. But he only sold 90% of his catalog. But I can see a Jason Aldean. He's probably 40. He rose. He's huge. He's still selling out arenas. He's still selling 6,000-7,000. And they're like, hey, by the way, we'll give you $100 million. Anyway,
there you have it.
I remember for years the Beatles wouldn't sell out. Remember the whole Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. He snuck around. And then I remember when it all happened. And all of a sudden, you're hearing Beatles songs on like Geico, Insurance, State Farm, and they're like Paperback Writer, in the background. Mm-hmm. So I get that it's kind of commercializing an art form that's supposed to be, cooler than it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, I heard one the other day. Commercial music being used in commercials. It's a Marriott commercial.
Yeah,
and they've been using different versions. It's not the original artist. They have other artists cover it. Like one time there was a marching band. The other time it was like a folksy acoustic type sound.
Right.
And the song is Roam by the B-52s. Roam around the road.
If you want to.
Roam around the world. Yeah. For Marriott commercial.
Wow. Okay. See, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was weird. It just is the old guy in me is like, man, don't do that. But then also I'm like, hey, guess what? You've got $300 million now. So do your thing. The thing that worries me is though one big company owns everybody's songs. I mean, they're just holding it. They're just locking it down. If you want to play this song, you got to talk to, Billy. It's just Billy.
Talk to Billy. He's got them all. He's got that catalog.
Were you surprised at? I know you were surprised at Brad Paisley, 25.
Oh yeah. I mean, they all kind of.
Oh wait, I didn't tell you the best one. Iggy Azalea. It says at least 10 million.
Okay.
At least 10 million. I figured she made 10 million a year, on her songs.
Yeah, really.
But
I don't understand that one. Well, I really wanted to talk about the most amazing sound in the universe.
Whoa.
I was wanting to play this sound. Yeah, I was wanting to play this sound.
Okay.
And then I was wanting you to guess what instrument it was.
The most amazing sound in the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could easily come up with my files, but I'm just thumbing around here. Let's see, podcast. Okay.
C.
I might be somewhat prepared here to do this
files.
or ready. C drive / Okay. I want to talk about the best, most amazing sound in the world. And you, Tony, need to tell me What instrument produced this sound? There's just one instrument
Wait a minute. The most amazing sound in the entire universe?
in the entire universe. This is the most amazing sound, tone generation, audio that you'll ever hear in the universe.
Okay. Hit the thing.
You got it?
Oh, yeah.
It's got about 30 more seconds.
Is it? Is it?
So that's about half. But it
Wait,
just kind
is
of
it one of the things?
a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
it's not that. I've got a picture of it. So while you're thinking there, I'll try to bring that one up.
Wait, is it a what's the thing that's half violin and half like a drum machine? Is that it?
This is it.
Wait,
You see that?
wine? What is that? Was that
That
making all that noise?
this right here produces that noise. Do you recognize it at all?
No, it looks like a piece of spaceship that fell off of Luke Skywalker's,
Okay.
that bike that he rode.
Well, that's kind of close, but not really. This is called a cosmic key, and it's the greatest instrument that produces the greatest sound in the universe. You want to see who invented it?
Yeah, yeah. Who invented it?
Well, if I can get back to my files, because it's this guy right here.
What in the world is that?
This guy, meet Gwildor.
You've lost your
This
mind now.
no way. This guy invented the cosmic key. And when you play said cosmic key, it opens up a portal to other universes.
Okay.
Okay.
What's that? Who's that from? I mean,
Obviously, you've not seen Masters of the Universe. This is from a movie.
Oh man.
Got him on a movie.
You mean Masters of the Universe with the
He-Man and
girl
Skeletor, yeah.
The girl
What?
from Friends?
No.
Wait, I'm talking about
Friends?
the 1982 Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes, that is correct. Who played Monica? Yep. And who's also in a Bruce Springsteen music video?
Yeah, yeah. And we neither one obviously know her name. Yeah. I'm going to put it right here.
That's her name. Do you see it? Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah.
So anyway, when's the last time you watched Masters of the Universe?
Like the cartoon?
No, the live action movie. That has the cosmic key.
No. I mean, is that from the 80s? The one you just showed me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't watched that since I was probably at my mom and dad's, man. That's probably in the 80s. Probably when it came out in the movies and then like TBS, put it in with edited. I don't know. I've never watched the full thing.
Well, it's a great movie, and I really suggest you check it out.
All right. Masters. I wouldn't mind watching Masters of the Universe, but it's not a great movie, right?
Oh, it is. It stands the test of time. It was released in 1987.
Yeah.
Has Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
As He-Man.
I remember that.
Courtney Cox plays Julie, the girl, and let's see, Skeletor is played by Frank Langella. You know the actor Frank Langella?
Wait, did Queen do the soundtrack? Oh no, wait, that's Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Thanks for taking that journey with me. You got to get yourself a cosmic key.
Oh my gosh! Wouldn't it be awesome if that? Wait, but okay. First off, does that really make noise, or does it just make noise in the movie? It just makes noise in the movie, right?
Well, yes, the cosmic key plays this harmonious tones, and all of a sudden a portal will open. So that's how He-Man and all those characters got to Earth. Was Gwildor introduced into this cosmic key to transport them to Earth.
Did you have the Masters of the Universe action figures and stuff growing up?
Not really. I watched the cartoon from time to time, but I was introduced to the movie probably in the 90s, and I've probably watched it as recent in the last couple of years.
No. It can't. The acting has to be horrible.
No, it's really good.
Oh my gosh. This thing, I know the acting is god awful. There's no way. I'm going to make notes. I'm watching this thing.
No, I mean it's got let's see, who was that? James Tolkien, from Back to the Future. Now, have you watched Back to the Future?
Yes, of course. I've
Of
watched Back to
course.
the Future, and there's three of
Okay.
them, and I've watched them all.
Well, the principal, bald head guy. He's in it. He plays like a detective.
And he was a quarterback. No, that's Flash Gordon again.
Anyway, Masters of the Universe, it's this convergence. It's live action, and He-Man, the universe of He-Man, they come to Earth, and there's a music store in it because this cosmic key is considered a musical instrument by
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the Earthling guy that's in this movie. So he's trying to figure out, and he's actually playing a high school prom or dance or something. His band is. And so he hooks up. He kind of, I think he midis into the cosmic key in his keyboard. He can produce those tones on his keyboard.
Oh my God.
So he was getting ready to play a concert with it, but the concert doesn't happen because that's when all the characters come in and trash the place, and they're looking for He-Man.
Does Skeletor talk like in the cartoons? Hey, Skeletor.
No, it's a little more serious, and has a more a beefier sound to it. It's not
Is the
Skeletor.
All right, I need to watch it. That would be fun. I
Yeah.
legit probably haven't watched it since within a 5-year window of when it came out. So
Well, imagine this. I mean, he takes this, he finds it, laying in the middle of a field after
the
it,
Cosmic
zoomed.
Key.
Yeah, the cosmic key after it zoomed through the universe, so it just landed like an asteroid, made a little crater in the Earth, and he takes it to his buddy who owns the music store. He's like, "Man, can you tell me what this is?" He's like, "Oh man, what is this?" And they start playing around with it, poking around with it, which activates it, and that's how Skeletor tracks them.
Don't spoiler alerts here. Come on.
Well, there you go.
All right, I'll check it out. It will be add it to the list. I'm going to put a check mark right here. Check
Good.
on the list. Here we go. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. The best instrument in the universe got me
Yeah.
on it with the old
Cosmic
movie.
key. You need to put some echo in this. Cosmic key.
That's it. That sounded awesome.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's story time, children. I got a story I want to share with you. Now, this is a personal story.
Oh,
It's about my mamaw,
okay.
and maybe it connects to something in the world. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge.
Wow.
But my mamaw, she possessed this cedar chest, and I guess I should have started with the story is called The Cedar Chest. If I was going to write this as a novel
Wow.
or a short story, but my mamaw owned a cedar chest, and it's an antique piece of furniture. It had all kinds of treasures in it, full of memories, um, pictures, newspaper clippings. This stuff spanned decades.
Right.
And every time I went and visited my mamaw, uh, every now and then she would crack that thing open, and just the aroma of mothballs, just would just take over the room. But it brings back nostalgia every time. But she would open this up and show me all the things in there, and I'd learn about my family history, and
That's awesome.
especially through my teenage years, I was really become interested in it. Um, and just a little backstory on my mamaw. She's grew up in the Midwest. Uh, she eventually made her way out to California. That's which was where she met my papa. Now my papa was from Kentucky, from Mud Creek.
Nice.
He went to be in the Navy during the Korean War, so he was out in California. That's where the ship docked. Met my mamaw, uh, and then start a family. My dad has a brother, so my dad and his brother. And then recently, my dad was telling me the story about him being a little boy and going through this cedar chest because my mama's had this cedar chest since she was a teenager, probably.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, so he's digging through this cedar chest. Imagine this as a boy, and he finds this little small box in there, and it's just brimming with love letters that are addressed to my mamaw.
Okay.
And so amidst this playful thing going on, Papa walks into the room and stumbles upon this, and the impending revelation is that those
No.
letters aren't from Papa. Those letters had the signature from a man named Roy, not Papa. My Papa's
No
name's
way.
Virgil. Yeah. Uh, so as you could expect, this sparked a bit of jealousy.
Oh yeah.
And it ended up, Mama ripped these letters, and because it's about this romance with Roy in her youth.
And she had held
Um,
on to these letters.
yeah. So let's fast forward a little bit. Years later, after my dad's a young adult, and I guess Mama's visiting him, and she starts kind of going through his collection of records. Okay,
Right.
so Mama's at his house. She's going through his records and stumbles across a Merle Haggard album
Right.
and turns it over, and
No.
she says, "I dated this guy." And my dad's like, "What? Yeah, I dated this guy. That's Roy Nichols." And my dad puts together that's the Roy love letters. Roy
Oh my
Nichols,
gosh.
the guitar picker.
You're
That was
what?
yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so apparently that Mama's like, "Yeah, I dated this guy. We would go to the dance hall in Pasadena, California. I think they called it the town hall party.
Oh my
That's
god.
where Roy was playing lead guitar with the Maddox Brothers and Rose. Ever heard of that?
No.
Well,
But
that was like one of the first bands he was in. He was like 16. My
Roy
mama was
Nichols.
about 16 or 17. He was about 16 or 17. But yeah, they met out there in California, and
Man,
get yeah.
what?
So her friend was in a relationship with Ralph Mooney, the steel player that was in Merle
What
Haggard's
in the
circle.
world?
Yeah.
That is
So
crazy.
yeah, it's like these letters get found years later. It's like, what?
We're
Roy
talking
Nichols?
decades
Yeah. So
and decades. That's crazy, man. That I mean, your little grandma that's just from just whatever I don't know what holler she lives
yeah,
on, but Mud Creek, and then she
yeah,
was traveled and imagine just getting to California back in the day. We're talking the 50s probably.
yeah. Well, she was, born in the Midwest. Her family's in Kansas.
So it
She
wasn't
made
that
her way
far
out
for
to
her.
California. Yeah, and then yeah, Papa brought her back to Eastern Kentucky.
Oh my
Now the
god.
later part of the years they lived in Florida. They've both passed
Wow.
now, but that's a really good story, and I
Man,
just
that's
had to share that
awesome.
one.
Yeah, that is good. That is really good. That's a good story. I can't believe we've got to find that album. We need to. I'm going to. Is so. There's pictures of this guy though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's got to
All
be
right.
yeah,
I'm going to find some while
and
you're telling
yeah,
the
we're gonna have
story.
all kinds of pictures up in post of this little story.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe next time we can bring my dad on and we can interview him about that, get more insight.
I'm down. That would be weird. So, tell
Yeah.
us about your mom's
No, he would talk all day about
relationships.
it.
Man, the cedar chest, that would make a good little book. I mean, I'm just saying, that's a crazy story. Knowing where we're from, how far away California is, your grandma, man, that's killer.
Yeah. It could
That's
be like
good.
another notebook story. You know the notebook?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
could be the cedar chest.
The cedar chest. I
Hit
think
me up, Hollywood.
there's no better way to end episode 3 than with that story, man. I think that was awesome. We've done it. I think we've done it again. Episode
Done it
3,
again.
Easily Distracted, now on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, iHeart. What's the big Spotify? You can get
Hmm.
us on that. Go subscribe and put us in your playlist and listen to the first 2. We got 3. We're on the way. 100.
Hey, onward
100.
and upward. Oh
Onward and
yeah.
upward. Well, cool, buddy.
Well, cool, buddy. All right, then. See you later.
Oh man, but yeah, Easily Distracted, episode 3. I think this one's done. I'll see
I'm gonna
you.
go kill a stink bug.
I'll see you next time.